we're live. It's the two Dons. Who had the name first, me or you?
You definitely had it first.
You think?
I think so.
I don't know. Probably since maybe like 2016, 17. I adopted that.
You definitely had it first.
Gotcha.
For sure.
But Guy is your real name. Don is not my real name. So like,
Guy is my real name. I often get questioned about that.
Now, what I want to know is, I'm sure you can ask this before, were there other names you considered besides for Guy? Because A, kind of an SEO nightmare.
For sure.
B, there's a R&B group, 90s R&B group called Guy as well. Very good. If people haven't heard of them, you should check them out.
Nah, Ted Riley. Yeah, and I'm familiar for sure. And we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But honestly, no, because I don't know. I feel like I grew up in the era of like artists just using like their real names. You know, Kendrick Lamar.
That's a Jersey thing, Joe Budden.
Okay, Joe Budden, Kanye West.
There you go.
And I feel like every time I was like reading articles or watching interviews on like how they came up with their artist name, it was just, you know, like they wanted to stay as authentic as possible. And I was like, my name suits me. Like, it's weird, but I feel like my name suits me. So I never really considered anything else. I feel like there was a time where my mom tried to pitch me something and I was like, nah, that ain't it.
Well, also now, like, I'm stealing this from someone. Like, I forget where I saw it, but someone basically said all new rappers, their names are like AIM screen names. Like all the rap names people use today are crazy. Like,
that's so accurate.
Yeah. Like people's names are insane now.
Wow.
So
yeah.
You'll be like Cher, like Guy, Cher will be like the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's like our slogan too for the show is like, if you want a girl, come to the Guy show.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, that's our slogan.
Damn.
Cologne
like
brand
that.
coming soon. Him, you know, by Guy, him by Guy, you know.
You think your music is for the ladies?
Yeah, I think most of my music's for the ladies for sure. I mean, that's definitely what inspires my music for sure.
Yeah.
But I think most of the fan base I've seen, I mean, you were there.
I was there. I was at the last show, and we have another show coming up June 6th.
Yes, sir.
Debonair Music Hall, Teaneck, New Jersey. Running it back.
New Jersey. Running it back for everybody who could not get in last time. So.
Yes, because it was sold out.
Yes.
Yes, it was sold out. This one will also be sold out.
You know, speaking into existence right now.
Yes,
definitely.
Right now. Yeah, so what's your fan base like? Like, how would you describe a typical Guy fan?
Honestly, like from what because I'm still in the process of like learning that, I guess. But from what I've seen, it's like all different walks of life. I mean, like different, like I don't have like a one size fits all kind of fan. Like I've seen like girls, guys, different ethnicities, you know, different races.
I do think your music has a little bit for everyone.
Yeah,
I will say that.
But I definitely see more women listening to my music than I do men.
Well, because you got an R&B bag.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I love R&B music.
You can rap, but you got an R&B bag. Yeah. So yeah, that'll bring the ladies out.
For sure. We like that. We like that for sure.
And we were talking about it off camera, but we just had a big level up going into the show because you just had a song played on Hot 97.
Yeah.
First time hearing
myself on the radio was crazy. Prime time too during Memorial Day weekend. It's crazy on a Saturday night.
That is crazy. And it was Rotation, your latest single, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which is so wild. I have no idea.
And you still don't know how it happened.
No, I mean, shout out to DJ Drewski. Like that's pretty much like I I felt awful about it because like I woke up and I found out I went to bed and my boy was calling me nonstop. And I was like, I'm not answering. And so like, eventually I checked my phone. He's like, yo, check your phone right now. And one of his boys texted him like, yo, I just heard your boy on the radio and sent a video. So I went and like peeped, but like, I didn't know who was DJing that night, anything like that. So I just reposted the video, like just saying like, yo, whoever was spinning me last night, thank you so much. And then Drewski reposted that video saying I'm whoever.
Oh, you think, and I was like, he took offense to that?
No, I don't think so. Cause like we were DMing after and he was like, nah, keep winning, bro. It's just crazy. And I was like, yo, thank you so much, dude. But it was just wild because like, you know, a lot of those scenarios I think are like pay to play kind of scenarios or you're locked in with a DJ and that wasn't the case, you know. And the same night, my guy, DJ Pinnacle, who is like my actual DJ.
Who's right here also.
Right here off camera. But he was spinning for Jammin' 94.5 out in Boston and was playing Rotation too. So I was just like hearing myself on two different radio stations. It was wild. Like,
and that's still a big deal. Don't let anyone tell you anything about like radio and it's like, oh, whatever. That is still a huge deal.
Bucket list stuff, you know? Yeah. Bucket list stuff. So
yeah.
And that's Hot 97 is like the first memory I have of a radio station in general.
That's true. Being a local guy and you get on Hot 97, like it doesn't get higher than that.
Absolutely. My mom used to take me into the city just like bumping Funk Flex. Like you know?
That'd been cool if you had some bombs on the song too.
I know, yeah, that would have been. I don't know how Flex would have felt about that, but
no, him playing it.
Oh yeah,
he would have given you a lot of.
We'll
bombs.
get there. We'll get there. Shout out to Drewski though.
Yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, you still have no clue. He never told you how he. So you don't even know how he discovered it at all.
No, I just kind of found out like a couple minutes ago. I think this guy DJ Stacks might have passed him the song, but I don't know like the backstory. But that is my goal. I will find this backstory out. But like as far as I'm aware, it wasn't like a transactional thing. He just really liked the song. And then even Drewski like posted like a playlist, I guess, using my song as the theme of the post. So I was like, damn, he's showing mad love, man. Like,
has there been anyone else like posting your music or doing anything crazy where you're like, oh shit, that's insane, they know who I am, listen to my music or anything like that?
I mean, Gary V was definitely one of those scenarios. Shout out to Mike Boyd and Tyler Walsh. But like just seeing like them posting with my stuff involved or just having me involved in general was kind of like a real, you just kind of fall into these things, you know what I mean? Like that was pretty wild for me because like we did a whole excursion. Bless you. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's definitely been a bunch of people who've tapped in with me on the music side. You know, like my guy Ace Pro, linking with him is great. But yeah, I mean, you know, just some people I'm not going to reveal, you know.
Yeah. How'd the thing with Gary V come together? You dropped the whole song with, was it with Gary V just himself? Was it with Vayner? Like what, tell me about how that came together.
It was with Vayner. So basically the way it happened was I had met Tyler Walsh, like we'd connected because he liked my music. And so like we did some content and he took me up to the office and showed me around and stuff. And then he invited me to this thing called Pass the Aux, which was like an invite only platform. Well, like basically a studio they rented out, invite only. And you'd pull up and play your music for like a bunch of other artists that are kind of like up and coming or got like motion and whatever. And so when I went in and played my music, this guy, Mike Boyd, heard my stuff. I guess Tyler had kind of like looped him in prior. But, you know, after Mike had like, you know, hit me up and was like, yo, like wants to chop it up. So we like, me, him, and my manager, Kyoko, just kind of went and grabbed a drink with him. And we just kind of got to know each other a bit. And like a week later, he hit me up about this idea for a song. And the song basically is for VaynerMedia. They have offices all over the world. And basically these songs are for, they want to do one with an artist from each like jurisdiction of where the office is. So I was like representing their New York office.
That's sick.
Yeah. So I did the song. The team loved it. And yeah, like the rest is history.
And they gave you the idea for like, the song is called Patience is Key, but they gave you the idea for that song, or did you come up with that?
No, basically their theme for another song was kind of like patience. Just the theme of patience. And basically what they wanted me to do was just kind of make a song around one of the pillars of what Gary talks about. So I was just doing my research and I just kind of was trying to make it authentic to me. And I think patience is just like a big thing that's kind of, you know, being an artist, making music, climbing up the mountain, even if you're at the top of the mountain, like releasing music. So I kind of leaned into that pillar and I found a quote that they had sampled in one of the other songs and I just kind of flipped it. I found the beat. Luckily, I found the beat. It was kind of like seamless and that doesn't always happen. But like 2 hours after the call, I sent him the song back, like fully written and everything. Yeah.
But that's quick for you, usually?
Yeah. I mean, there's been like, it varies. You really don't know. There's been songs I've spent time working on. There's been songs that I've just flowed out like immediately.
I was just talking to someone in the other room about that. He's in like a band and he was talking about, he was trying to figure out how to do content for the band. He was like, I've been putting all this effort for all my content and the one I filmed on an iPhone in 2 seconds got the most views. I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing with music too. It's like sometimes the hit song is made the quickest, like you made it in a day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very like critical of myself. So there's a lot of, my guys hate this about me, I'm sure. But there's a lot of songs where I'll just be like, oh, is this one of them ones? And I usually kind of go by like a rule of 5. So if I don't immediately know, like if I think a song has potential, I'll export it and send it to like the homies or music guys whose opinion I trust.
And who will give you an honest opinion. Yeah.
100%. Like brutally honest opinions. And if I get like over 3 people of the 5 that are like, yo, this is hard. So like, for example, I recently made a song I was kind of like, yo, and my boy Ace was like, nah, this one's got potential. Like, you should work on this. So I worked on it. Like, you know, another example of that one was one that I worked on, changing the hook, whatever, changing lyrics. I played it for my guy Pinnacle in the car like 2 weeks ago, and he just gave me that look like, yo, what is this? Like, so, It varies, man. Sometimes the ones that flow out feel like shit, this is it, and it's seamless, and you want everyone to be like that. But I heard Taylor Swift make a great quote one time where she said songwriting is literally there's two types of songwriting. The song basically writes itself, or the other one is where the actual art of the craft comes in, where you have to craft it. You got to like go out in the ether and find it and piece it together, sit with it. So I think that's kind of like, how I view it, honestly.
Did it take you a while to like learn that as you've gone throughout your career?
It's like something I know, but still it doesn't stick with me. Cause like, I'm just like, can I do it again? Can I do it again? And until I make that next thing, then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm him,
You saying this, and also I watched a little bit of another interview you did recently, and I noticed a lot of things you were saying in that, like I like resonate as like being the exact same. So like being super critical of myself, like that's how I am. Like you do something, you're like, oh my God, that was amazing. Then the next time you do it, you're like, dude, this sucks. I'm the worst. Like I'm like, I talk myself down so much. But the other thing you were saying in that other interview, like you were traveling a lot, so you didn't have a good like network of people. And then you were talking about being an athlete, and you were kind of like, the people around me weren't really like doing music. So I just like, everyone did sports. That's what I did. I was like, dude, that's exactly how I was. Like, I feel like how you got into it is kind of like, got into music is kind of how I feel about myself as well.
No, definitely. I mean, my thing was just like in high school and stuff where I was just a new kid a lot. I went to 4 different high schools and I was just trying to fit in. And, a lot of that kind of scenario was, I play basketball. So I joined the teams and I'm hooping and whatnot. And I had some friends who were like doing music, but when you're like 4 towns separated from your friends and you don't have a car and you don't, you're a kid, so. Yeah. And I didn't own a laptop to open up YouTube and look up how to start. And I was always writing in my phone, like on my notes. So I was like always writing, whether it's poetry, raps, whatever it might be, whatever you'd classify it as. But I didn't have like that upbringing where even when I was like, my mom, I've had a job since I was 12. My mom was, if I was at the crib chilling, my mom would have been like, go get a job.
Get your ass up off the couch.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah. But, cause I feel that way. Cause like I played sports all growing up, and I always feel like I thought of myself as an athlete my entire life. And then I became an adult, and sports ends, and you're like, dude, I don't know. Like,
shit, I'm not going to the NBA.
And then it's like, I don't even like sports really. Like, as I go, like once I stopped like kind of playing, I played football through college. I quit my senior year of college. And after that, I was like,
shit, you played college?
Okay. D3. It wasn't that sick. And I barely played. So, but I was nice in high school, but then something changed in college, I guess. But whatever, it ends. And you're like, damn, bro, like,
what do I do now?
I don't even think I like this shit. Like, I don't know what I like anymore. Like, what am I into? And then I felt like I was into other shit, but then I'm like, I don't have all my friends, just all they care about is sports. Yeah. Like all of my friends just like work in fucking finance, and I want to do some other shit. And it's like hard to like develop a net. Like I feel like that is like impedes people a lot of pursuing their path when their immediate network is like not on the same path as them. Which I can imagine being someone who's traveling, where you're feeling like you're on your own and there's like no one you're kind of doing it with.
Yeah, I think like it was less about like the perception of what other people thought or what was right. It was just me trying to navigate like acclimating to life, like acclimating to this school. How do I make friends? Okay, they're hooping. All right, cool. I'll hoop. So let me hoop. But it's also like lack of like, you don't know what questions to ask if you don't have the resources around you, Like if I'm like, yeah, I want to make music, but I don't have a computer and I don't have this, and I'm also working and I also got to do this and I'm also in practice. And it was like, well, and my friends don't know how to do that shit either. I'm kind of like, well, all right, cool. I can't even like go into Google and be like, how do you start making music? I didn't. So when I got those things, that's when my interest started to really lean into it. And I had some friends who were kind of like getting in the studio. So I would try and pull up with them just to kind of explore my curiosities and stuff like that. And then, eventually like I found my way into getting access to them for myself. And that's really when I kind of dove headfirst into making music and stuff like that.
And when was the first moment or song where you felt like, oh, I could do this?
So in college, I was going to school in New Orleans at Loyola University, which is actually crazy because G-Eazy went there and he graduated obviously before I was there, but so the school was like known for like an artist actually broke from the school or whatever. Mm-hmm. And
what year is this? What are we talking right now?
2016, 2017, around that time.
Yeah.
when I kind of like started making my first couple of songs. I mean, I had done like, maybe the year prior, like just freestyling with my boys and shit, but I don't classify
Yeah,
that
doesn't count. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of, the school had a studio, and I got cool with the guy who had the key to the studio. And one time he let me in there, and he was like, yo, I got to go to class, whatever. So I skipped class and I took that key and I went to Walmart, because in the Walmart in New Orleans, you can make a copy of the key. So I made a copy of the key. And then I just had access, and nobody was in there at night. So I would just go into the building at night and stay up like till 5 a.m. there. And so I made a couple, like 3 songs I made there. And at the time, Yes Jules was doing like New Music Mondays. So a bunch of I made like the first song, which the school started being like, yo, have you heard this Kid Guy's like song? It's actually really dope. So the school started buzzing about it. And then when I dropped the second one, people were sending it to Yes Jules' team, like for New Music Monday submissions, and they posted it. And then like it got like 300,000 spins on like SoundCloud, which like in SoundCloud era.
Yes, that's big.
You're like, oh shit. Like,
yeah.
And I was like, yo, like, damn, the response I was getting at school. And I was like, yo, I maybe I could really do this. Like, so I just did not look back.
Yeah. And what's been like, as you've continued to grow and build more of a fan base, like, do you have any sort of like strategy, or like has anything changed in like how you're kind of going about things? Or are you just like, just whatever comes, like, are you just kind of just taking action and then however things happen?
I think as of in the last like couple months or the last year, I think I was always kind of like just taking action. I think the biggest thing is like to have a plan, but also to not be rigidly attached to your plan. And, at any point, like the universe is going to shake things up. So if you're like, I want to do this and I want to do that, but I'm leaving room for it to change, allows you to navigate it a lot more, more efficiently and easily. But as of late, like I'm really just world building right now, So I've got things in the tuck, and I'm really just trying to bring people into like who is Guy when you're a Guy fan, like what are the values that you represent, having a voice as an artist. That's one thing that's always stuck with me. I didn't just make music to just say whatever. Like I always wanted to have something to say. So I think like right now, I've definitely paced drops, because I've always like just wanted to drop stuff that was good. I never wanted to drop something I was iffy on. But now I'm kind of in the process of like actually trying to roll things out, like crafting a world for people to step into so that they can have like a real understanding. Because just a song, like you can have a great song, but you can't really connect with the person on the song besides just the single itself. So I want people to feel like they're part of what I've got going on, like that it's a journey, these shows. Like I want people to look back 2 years from now when I'm doing like an arena tour and being like, yo, I remember there was like 100 people at a show. I remember there was 50 people at a show, and I was there, like, and can still DM me,
Yeah. Do you have your like your tweet for like that you're gonna look back on and be like, I told you so? You have your I told you so tweet yet?
I don't think so.
You got to get one out.
I know. I'm going to tweet it today.
You
honestly.
should.
I just did an interview with Don. You can't tell me shit.
Yeah. And nah, you got to have a good one. Like Tyler the Creator's my favorite. Like he has so many good ones, or like someone talks shit to him, he like saves it, and then like 10 years later he'll like dunk on them. Like
yeah, I'm going to have to go through my tweets.
Yeah,
honestly.
you got to have like
I'm sure I do.
Someone to dunk on, or like one like remember I told you guys tweet. So when you're doing the arena tours, you can be like, see, I told you guys in
just
2025.
Display it. Just have it displayed at the arena.
Yeah.
That's actually fire.
Gotta call your shot. A lot of guys do that. I feel like people do that on purpose. You got to like speak it into existence.
Yeah, no, I definitely got those like manifested tweets for sure. But I don't know if I've got the one where I'm like shitting on people yet. Like,
you don't need to shit on people, but you just got to like let them know. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is what's going to happen.
All right, word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to make it happen.
I also feel like for the like the world building aspect of like an artist, like that's everyone's goal. But I feel like nowadays that's so hard for people to do, because it's like, there's just so much music being released, and then everyone, it's like the strategy is just drop as much music as possible, single, drop content, like pre-posted. Like I feel like everything's just so much that it's almost like it's too much to keep up with, that you can't, like, you need to slow things down to kind of be a little more like, all right, how do I craft this world? How do I like find my fans, and how do I do all this? But at the same time, there's almost like, oh, I need that sense of urgency because everyone else is doing it. I won't keep up otherwise. Like, how do you balance all that?
Well, my urgency is always in like, I need to like make newer and better music and keep evolving. That's like my sense of urgency in terms of like releasing it and putting things out. My kind of thing right now is just like, once I put my foot on the gas, like I don't want to stop. So if I'm taking time to not drop things right now, it's because when I do drop, I'm going continuously. And I'm really trying to balance like the content that I put out, having integrity in it and it making sense, and like really taking the time to craft things. I think the problem with people in world building and stuff is like they don't actually take the time to get to know themselves. Like I've sat down and made like slide decks of like, what colors do I like? What videos do I like? What are the angles I like? What outfits do I like? You know, to really understand, like, advice, honestly, from my guy, Ace Pro, you know, just like really understanding self, so that when I am I think that's how you balance it, is when you can understand like what it is you like and what it is you want to do, and then just do it consistently. It's easier versus just doing things aimlessly, hoping to catch a moment of virality, you know?
Yeah, because that almost feels like what people are doing too. It's not only that, it's like, oh, that worked, I'm going to just replicate that thing just because it worked, but that might not necessarily be what's authentic to them.
For sure.
And, you know, that'll catch up with you, I feel like, over time, if you're just trying to chase whatever, like, is working in the moment.
And I think there's a lot of people who've gone viral who haven't, like, sustained, you know?
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely like, I'm hoping I'm going to catch a moment of virality, but it's going to be on my terms as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. So you kind of alluded to it, but you said, you know, if you're not dropping, it's because when you are dropping, you're going to be dropping a lot. You just dropped a song. Does that mean you're going to be dropping a lot going forward?
Absolutely.
What can people expect that you can tell us?
Monthly drops. Just be in tune for monthly drops. You know, I got a lot in the pipeline coming. I'm, you know, maybe a project, you know, maybe a little mixtape album. You never know what's going to be in store, but as of right now, just monthly drops, and you know, this show on June 6th.
Yeah. So, are you going to be performing some of those songs at the show?
For sure, absolutely.
What was the strategy? Like, did you have any concerns about running it back at the same venue? I feel like that's not like a common thing people do. Like, I know it's the hometown show, so I know you want to put on for the hometown, but would you have any hesitancy to just like do it somewhere else just for the sake of doing it somewhere else, or do you like, no, I want to do it in my hometown again?
No, I originally wanted to do it somewhere else. The challenge is like where, like, this is also like part of the reason why, you know, even if I took an L on this show, I'm going to take that as a lesson, you know. I'm not really, you know, because we don't have music venues like that in northern New Jersey. We don't have many that can offer like 200, 300, 400 plus people. So I think, you know, I was looking for another venue just because I like to keep things fresh, but if the option was not doing it all and, you know, doing it at the same venue. So I, you know, and doing it again is just to show like perseverance in it. You know, if things didn't go as well as the one before, like there's also always something for me to take from something, you know? So, but I think like, you know, you gotta be willing to stick through the highs and the lows of like trying something to make it a staple, because yeah, something can hit the first time, but there's not a chance it's going to hit every single time. And obviously we are working towards it hitting every single time. But, you know, like if I want to start throwing my own festivals in a city that doesn't really have music venues to offer, then I got to go through the ups and downs of constantly like, you know, bringing people in and showing them what I got to offer. But so far, you know, it's just been, the response has been great, you know?
Yeah, and I was at the first show, and it was a good show.
Yeah,
and again,
appreciate
sold
it,
out.
man.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Appreciate it, man. He was at the after party too.
I was at the after party too. Let's go and be
know?
at the after party again this time. And yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Like, and I like your point about, you know, you need like the lessons and stuff like that. I think that's also something that people don't have in the social media age. Like everyone's scared to take an L because taking an L is so public now.
Yeah.
That if you like, if you know anything is like, oh my God, like it's such a bad look or whatever, but it's just data at the end of the day. Like if you're early in your journey of whatever you're trying to do, it's like, you got to kind of take those, because maybe you never take them. Maybe you just, everything you do is a hit and works, but sometimes like there's something to be taken if something doesn't work as well, or maybe that thing that didn't work as well, it was just because you did it too early on.
Yeah.
You know, maybe like you fast forward 2 years, you did that exact same thing. It's like more people know you, know who you are, know what you're about, and it works better. Like you got to just do as much as you can, try what you can, and see what works.
I agree. Looking at it like data is definitely a great way to phrase it, by the way. But I think also like you get to a point, like there's levels to it. Like, you know, there's a point where like, yeah, like I'll cross a threshold where everything I do will be strategic and every decision that I make will be geared towards a certain outcome. But I think right now I don't have enough data points to do that, you know? So, and I think a lot of artists don't have data points coming up because they don't go out and try to find the data points for themselves, you know? Like, yeah, I could just lean into where my top, streaming cities are on Spotify, but I'm also like, I'm really trying to put on for my city and put on for my state. And I think one of those things is like, I got to do it back home. And that's part of what these shows are. Isn't just about me, but like, at the last one I put on local openers that don't really have platforms that get them showcased like that. I'm doing the same one again, and I paid those artists, and I'm going to try, pay these artists. And, hopefully eventually that'll turn it into like a festival or something like that, where I can, have my own festivals in Jersey and help, bring in vendors and bring in businesses and just bring more attention to the city.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
Based on where hip hop's at today, are you running from or embracing any Drake comparisons? Because I would compare you to Drake probably closest if I had to pick a big hip hop artist.
I mean, that's the goal.
Like, yeah, all right, good.
Of course, I'm not going to run from comparisons from anybody, man. I mean, I remember I'm a Drake stan. I grew up with Drake, man. Like I was 12 listening to Drake. Like, so of course it's going to be part of my music DNA. So, and honestly, like being associated with him is, an honor. I mean, he's like taking it as far as it can go. And, that's the goal, is like, hopefully the baton can pass and I can take it even further. So
who are the music influences?
There's a lot. My mom, like, such a melting pot of music growing up. Like she was playing everything from Tupac is a big one, of course. Drake, Kanye. I'm a big fan of Sade as well. I like, alternative music. I love Bon Iver. And then there's stuff like my mom was a big Who fan, rock influence. And then like spending time at my friend's house, like I love D'Angelo, like big on D'Angelo. There's such a blend of stuff, like Biggie for sure, Hove, Wayne, of course. There's so many, man. Like it's so hard to be like, I model my music after this person or this. Nah, I don't necessarily think I have one, but Drake is definitely up there.
Well, I think you have a lot of versatility in your music. That's kind of why like I would make that comparison, is just because I think like you have pretty much a wide range of bags you can get into on your music. Like I think you could rap, you got the R&B bag. Like you said, I hear like the alternative indie kind of stuff in there too. Like you kind of could do everything.
Yeah,
which not a lot of people can do.
No, I appreciate it. And that's definitely something I want to be able to do, is like give you a different bag, but do it authentically and like also it be good,
right.
Be well done. But I really just make music off feeling, man. Like sometimes I'll be in a bag of listening to Paramore like for months on end, because I'll just be nostalgic of that time in life, and that'll influence the music that I'm making at that time. Sometimes I'll be super in my vulnerable rap bag, same with R&B. It's so hard sometimes because I always want to make different styles of music at once.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're like picking and choosing what it is you want. But I think like what I've kind of leaned into more is like what's like moving me. So like right now, like a joint I just made recently that my guy Pinnacle is definitely, I know he's excited about that one, but I've been really on the vibe of like up tempo, like I miss the roller rink kind of music. Like I've been bumping like, Mobb Deep, Field Mob, and Sierra So What, like You Don't Have to Call by Usher, like Donnell Jones. Like I miss the like stuff people can groove to. I want my shows and my vibe to be more geared towards like grooving versus like mosh pitting. I want people to feel like, like it's a house party. Like when you used to be in high school and be like, yo, there's a house party. Like you want to go there and meet a chick. You want to go and dance with a chick. Like that's what I grew up on. Like there's a spot called the Moose Lodge. If you from Teaneck, New Jersey, Bergen County, and you know about the Moose Lodge, what's up, so I'm kind of leaning into that stuff right now.
But what I hear from all of that is like, which I and this is something else I'm stealing from someone, I forget who said it, but like you have, I think being an artist, what's important is having taste. Like to me, it sounds like you have a wide range of taste. Like some artists, I feel like you're very like, I only listen to this one thing and I only do this one thing. And I feel like you really limit yourself. And I feel like having taste is one of the most important things, like in anything, like, because it matters with your fashion. Like you have a taste in fashion, you have a taste in like just culture, music, sure. Like everything. Like I think that allows you to grow and have a lot of versatility as an artist.
No, definitely. Everything's feeling based for me, man. Like I don't care who the artist is, what type of song. If it strikes a chord with me, it's going to strike a chord, whether it's country, metal, R&B, whatever. So I kind of just lean into that stuff. And like, that's something my mom always like, why she always pushed me to get into music is because as a kid, I had mentioned in the other interview, like I was extremely susceptible to emotion with music. I'd be like an infant and a song would come on and the chords that were playing would make me cry as like a baby. And she like, to this day, I get goosebumps when it's a great song, like of whatever genre comes on. Like if I could be watching a movie and the score could be that great. Like I'm super into that stuff, and I just try to lean into it. So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the taste, try to have some good taste out here.
I mean, saying Bon Iver, like, I mean, that's like how many people doing hip hop are like, yeah, Bon Iver is one of my like number one. Like,
and
that's
like people don't even know how much he's like contributed to Kanye's music.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is a genius. Or there would be no McGee or Dijon.
But that also goes to the point of like you're naming how much they influenced these amazing, like the greatest artists ever. It's because they also have that taste. They have a wide range of things that they pull from for inspiration. Like, I think that's like super important as an artist. Like, it makes sense.
I agree, man. Yeah. Definitely.
5 years from now, where's Guy going to be?
Biggest artist in the world, honestly. Arena tours, stadium tours. I really want to make albums and bodies of work that are like, what we consider timeless or stand the test of times, and decade based artist,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on for me.
All right. Is there anything else we need to touch on?
No, I think I'm good, man.
All right. Well, I can't co-sign Guy's music enough. I don't know how we ever got linked up like a year or two ago.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened. I might have just found your music and then just like made something. I forget. Like,
that's how it was when OK came out.
Yeah,
you posted about it.
Yeah,
you posted about it.
Yeah.
And I DM'd you like, yo, thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. And we just connected off that.
But great music, and you should dive into his music because it's really, really good. Like I said, he has a lot of versatility. There's something for everybody. A lot of music coming. So
just wait on it. If you thought there was versatility before, just wait on it.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, and go to the show June 6th, Debonair Music Hall, Teaneck, New Jersey. Tickets are available. It'll be in the link in the description somewhere.
Definitely, Teaneck, New Jersey.
Instagram. Where can they find you?
At I'm Guy from NJ. I'm like the letters I am. A lot of people think it's I am. No, I'm Guy from NJ.
All right.
All socials, you can find me.
Also will be in the description.
Definitely. See you June 6th.
Let's go. Thank you, my guy.
My boy, thank you.